Okay. Every time I do this, I so wish I could play the Voyager's theme song. But I cannot sing, and I cannot hum, and I cannot hold the tune. And there are huge copyright issues too. That all goes out the window. But here we are on season 1, disc 3. Episode 113, Cathexis. If you haven't watched all of my Star Trek Next Generation, please go back and do that. And all the other episodes of Voyager we've done so far, please go back and do that. And if you happen to be looking for a book to read, and you're tired of spending hours upon hours in those search engines, D. Louise book series If Then. There's over 90 of them out there. Vampires, romance, regencies, contemporary romance, forensics, homicides, detective, men in kilts, pirates that make you swoon, cozy mystery Thanksgiving, cozy mystery Christmas. They're all out there. Cozy mysteries featuring doggies, cats, animals. They're out there. Horror. There was ones last year that there's a couple of them out there. It's just you gotta check those horror ones. I'm not gonna do those this year, but I did them last year, and that was enough for me. What? My co-host is annoyed that when I do it on this side of the room, there's no place for her, and she gets quite upset with me. Come here. Come here. Come hither. Mark Chanel. Just sit there and look at me, why don't you? Come here. Come here. Okay. Here we are. So, where are we? Here we go. Catharsis. Episode 113. Captain's Log, Stardate 48734.2. Sometimes it's a good idea to get away from being the captain for a while. To that end, I've started participating in a new holo novel. The setting is ancient England. Now, all this electricity that they're spending on the holodeck, I was thinking maybe coulda, kinda, shoulda, maybe could have been used for the replicator. But then, of course, we wouldn't have Neelix, and we need Neelix in our show. So I guess, we don't talk about it. But instead of the replicator, we've got Neelix. No pushing. Just a second here. You want to go down? Go down. Alrighty then. Oh, and by the way, could you please hit the like and subscribe? I would surely appreciate it, please. And this is the D. Louise book series, Kistina. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. No thumbnails that are perfect and eye-catching. So if you know people who like this kind of stuff, could you just tell them, hey look, D. Louise book series. She has horrible thumbnails, and they're not eye-catching, and nobody sees them, and that's why no one watches her channel. And I don't make false claims. The title of my video is the title of the book. What do you want me to title? Catharsis. Star Trek Voyager. Catharsis. What? I'm not good at that stuff, that fake stuff. I'm not. And I don't want to be. But anyways, I'm trying to get a double shot here and it's not working. I'm not very equipped at this. But this series is very good for you talk, the camera's in your face. You talk, the camera's in your face. Sometimes you don't see everybody all at once. And Janeway is doing that English novel that will become prominent in future episodes, where she plays the governess or yeah, she's taking care of the children. And this lady doesn't like Janeway and she gives her an attitude problem. And the kids have issues too. And then there's their deceased mother in the mix. And then there's their father. And this is whole little English governess hollow novel she's participating in. Like I said, it does play significance in future episodes. But so she's playing around in the English thing. She's going back and forth with the housekeeper, and the housekeeper rules the nest, and blah 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 blah. And don't let Janeway think she's gonna be getting her way around it and overruling her and all that kind of stuff. Oh, so then she meets the father, uh, Burleigh, and they have a little chit chat. And then Ensign Kim interrupts her fantasy hollow novel by saying, he's got Tuvok, and Tuvok's been injured, and Chakotay. So I'm trying to get a picture of the room or something, and they're all running around with their heads cut off. So it's hard to do. But they're in sick bay, and doctor says they've taken a blast to the head by some kind of energy discharge, a cardio stimulant. Mr. Tuvok has serious concussions, but it's nothing I can't handle. As for Commander Chote, all of the bioneural energy has been extracted from his brain. Extracted, Janeway says? Yes, from the look of it, someone drained the energy from every single axon and dendrite right down to the synapses. I can keep his heart beating. I can keep him breathing. But other than that, there's nothing I can do. He's brain dead. Oops. Play eerie music. Play suspenseful music. What's gonna happen with Chakotay? So then Tuvok has woken up, and he's giving his report. The attack lasted no more than a few seconds. It was highly effective. I feel Commander Chakotay and I are fortunate to be alive. What happened, Lieutenant? We had completed our trade mission with the Liberians and were on course to Rendezvous Point. We encountered a dark matter nebula. As we began a routine analysis, an unidentified ship emerged and attacked our shuttle. Any idea why? No. They would not respond to our hails. We were hit by an energy discharge which penetrated our shields and filled the cabin. Commander Chakotay lost consciousness immediately, and I was barely able to activate the autopilot before I was overcome as well. And the alien ship? The last image I saw was the ship flying back into the nebula, but the details are difficult to remember. Can you tell me about anything about the discharge? The doctor asked. Is it modulation or phase distribution? No, there was no time for detailed analysis. However, the shuttle's sensors may have recorded information that could be helpful. I will download the sensor logs. Why would someone want to extract his bioneural energy? Janeway says. I don't know, the doctor says, but if I'm to have any hope of reviving him, I must know precisely how his new ones were depleted. It would be a great help if I could examine the weapon. We're going back to the nebula to try and find the ship that attacked you, Janeway says. And then she's, Janeway to bridge! Prepare to lay a new course! Mr. Tuvok will provide you with the coordinates. Aye, Captain Paris says. We'll keep you posted, Doctor. So then we're back on the bridge. The energy discharge overloaded the shuttlecraft's central computer core. All sensor data has been erased, Tuvok says. Lieutenant Torres is in sickbay now, Janeway says. When she reports, tell her to go over those damaged central logs with a fine-tooth comb to see if she can reconstruct any of that data. Aye, Captain Tuvok says. Janeway says, this is going to make things a little more difficult. I've been using the long-range sensors to analyze the nebula you discovered. It's sending out strong electromagnetic radiation. We won't be able to scan inside it. You know, it sounds to me like the perfect hiding place. I don't like the idea of going in there blind. Let me see if I can reconfigure the sensors to a multiphasic bandwidth. Is there a problem, Tuvok says? I've lost all sensor contact with the nebula. I don't understand. Wait a minute. We've altered course. Mr. Paris? Our new heading is 121 Mark 6. We've completely come about, Captain, but it wasn't me. Mr. Kim, check the navigational computer. Who ordered the course change? According to my readings, the command was issued from the Khan. I'm telling you, it wasn't me, and the helm controls are working perfectly. No sign of malfunction. Ensign, transfer helm control to your station and reset original course. Course laid in. Mr. Paris, I want you to run a full diagnostic on the Khan station. See if you can isolate the problem. Aye, Captain. So then B'Elanna is trying to encourage Chakotay's spirit animals, I think. With this thing over here she's got. It's a medicine wheel talisman used by Chakotay's tribe. He once showed me how it works. He said if anything happened to him, that I should perform a special healing ritual. Ah, the wheel represents both the universe outside and the universe inside our minds as well. They believe each is a reflection of the other. When a person is sleeping or on a vision quest, it is said that a soul is walking the wheel. But if he's in a coma or near death, it means that he's gotten lost. The stones are signposts to help point the way back. Not exactly standard medical procedure, I know, but you've placed the Coyote Stone at the crossroads of the fifth and sixth realms, which would divert Commander Cote's soul, that is his consciousness, into the mountains of the Antelope Woman. According to his tradition, an extremely attractive locale he might not want to leave. How do you know about the medicine wheel? It's my business to know about a variety of medical treatments, including those based on psycho-spiritual beliefs. Unfortunately, in this case, the medicine wheel won't help much. There's just not much of his mind left to work with. And she whispers to Chakotay to find his way before she leaves. And Cass is in her quarters reading a book, and she feels a presence. No one responds to her who's there situation. She's all by herself, but she feels a presence. So then she tells Neelix about feeling the presence in her quarters. So we're back on the bridge again, and their course has once again been altered. Our new heading is 121 Mark 6. Take us back on course. The helm's not responding. I'm locked out. Tuvok goes over. This command station has been blocked. From where? The lockout originated on Deck 12, Section 8, B7, Navigational Control. See if you can reestablish. Paris comes in. Let's see. I've checked every ODN junction in the helm control network, and I still can't find the problem. It seems we've developed a problem while you were gone. Helm control reestablished. Get us back on course for the nebula. Janeway to Taurus. Taurus here. Who's in the navigational control? No one right now. I was there this morning, and Lieutenant Paris was there a few minutes ago. That's not true. Are you certain of that, B'Elanna? I'm positive. I just saw him leave 5 minutes ago. Janeway out. Explain, Mr. Paris. I passed by the navigational control on my way back from the Jeffries tube. That's all. Am I accused of being something here? We are merely following a list of deductive reasoning, Lieutenant. Both deviations for our course were apparently issued from locations where you were working. I'm telling you I didn't do it. Well, I'm not willing to rule out mutiny for time being. I believe you, Mr. Paris, but I have to consider this possibility that you might be having a problem with your memory. I want you to go down to sickbay, have the doctor check you out. All right. So the doctor checks out Paris, and then he reports to Tuvok, I still have a series of tests to perform, but other than his irritating lapses into nostalgia, I see nothing wrong with him. I guess you're going to have to go to round up another suspect, Tuvok. On the contrary, Lieutenant, I did a forensic sweep with the navigational control. I found traces of your DNA. That's impossible. The cellular residue you left behind is less than 12 hours old. Do you still wish to maintain your innocence? To be honest, I don't know what to think. Perhaps my biomolecule scan will reveal something. Keep me informed, Doctor. So then Tuvok and Janeway are talking. I believe I found the ion trail of the ship that attacked us. It leads directly into the nebula. This is the nebula, and this is the ion trail. As you can see, their flight path is highly erratic. These planetoids inside the nebula, Janeway says, they may be generating a dangerous gravitational effect, like the storm currents. Chances are they've mapped these currents and they're taking the only safe way through. A reasonable assumption. I recommend we follow their exact flight plans. Agreed. Lay in course. And the lights go out. Captain, we're dropping to impulse power. I'm reading a massive energy drain all over the ship, and the warp core is shutting down. Bridgeway to engineering. Report. Tourists, please respond. Mr. Kim, take the bridge. Tuvok, you're with me. What's going on? So then, you've initiated emergency warp core shutdown. What? Too late. The warp core is offline. It'll take at least 2 hours to regenerate the dilithium matrix. Ensigns, get the rest of the systems back online. Apparently, you've just crashed the main computer, locked out the bridge, and stopped the ship cold. Do you want to tell me why? Captain, I don't know what you're talking about. Janeway's like, what the hell is going on here? So then we're back in sickbay. I found something and you're not going to like this. This is Mr. Paris's memorygram for the last 24 hours. You can see it's very consistent and distinctive modulation except at 1350 hours. For 1 minute 47 seconds, a different memory pattern emerged. 1350 hours is also the exact moment Mr. Paris presumably tampered with the navigational control. It gets worse. In addition to that, entered the new course at the helm. I found there's an identical disruption in Lieutenant Torres's pattern at the moment she shut down the warp power. I should point out that this neuroelectrical signature, which I believe to be another brainwave that was superimposed on their own. Another brainwave? Whose? So, Paris is sitting on the table behind them. I just don't want to go back and forth. They're having this conversation. I don't know. It's an unusual energy signature, one I've never seen before. Doctor, what are you saying? One possible explanation, and the only one I could think of at the moment, is that an unknown alien entity momentarily took control of their minds. Intruder alert, Tuvok says. All personnel, go to condition 4. Captain, it's possible that the intruder returned with us in the shuttlecraft. If you're right, and there is an alien here, it seems intent on preventing us from going back to the nebula. What's more, it seems to have the ability to jump from person to person. If that's true, it could be in any one of us controlling our actions without us reading it. Well, except me. That's true, Paris. So far, it's only affected organic beings. If it can control the computer and navigational system directly, it would probably have done it already. Which means that Janeway says the doctor is the only person on board we can trust at this moment. Doctor, until we've eliminated this presence, I can't take the risk it could take over any of the senior officers. I'd like to transfer all command codes to you to further notice. What would that mean? I'm in command? No. But you'll act as safe if at any time any one of us under the ship of influence of the alien. You can countermand our orders and take control of the ship. Do you feel up to it? Well, of course, I make life and decisions every day. I feel better already, Paris says. Computer, transfer all command codes to the holographic doctor. Authorization Janeway 841 Alpha 65. Command code transfer complete. Let's see if we can get this warp core back online ahead of schedule. Aye, Captain. So then everybody is out in the hallway. And Cass says, Captain, I heard what happened. I think you're right. There is an alien presence here. I've been sensing something unusual all day. I don't know how to describe it, but I know there's something here. Do you know where? No, just that it's on the ship. Captain, Kess's telepathic abilities are undisciplined. If I could initiate a Vulcan mind meld with her, I might be able to help her focus those abilities to detect the alien more accurately. I'm willing to do that. Very well, proceed, Mr. Tuvok. I'm sorry, it's dark. It's dark when I look at it too. But Ensign Kim is with Durst. And he says, the captain wants us to seal off all critical areas of the ship. Make sure the access hatch of the Jeffries tube A-17 is secure. So what exactly are we securing against? We're not sure, but we think it's some kind of non-corporeal alien. Non-corporeal? That means it can probably move through a bulkhead. And then you hear, then they open the door and they see Tess and Tuvok unconscious, and they call for medics. Okay. Then we get a captain's log. And I hate that it's so dark that you can't see. A captain's log supplemental appears that Mr. Tuvok and Kess were both hit by an unidentified energy discharge. Tuvok was not badly hurt, but Kess is in a coma. Tuvok, it was similar to the attack on the shuttlecraft. An energy discharge came through the bulkhead, filled the turbolift, and hit both of us. B'Elanna says we didn't pick up a discharge of any kind on the internal sensors. Perhaps this type of energy discharge is beyond our bandwidth. Perhaps, but that discharge had to come from somewhere. The most thorough scanning device we have on board is a Magaton scanner, Paris says. We could search the ship centimeter by centimeter, but that wouldn't do much good. The alien could be anywhere at any time. What would it perform a Magaton scan on the entire ship all at once? What do you suggest? Janeway says. A Magaton flash scan. We could reconfigure every sensor array on the ship to emit a single burst. It might be enough to illuminate any anomalous energy. Harry, what do you think? Harry's, Quo, what do I do? Stay where you are, Mr. Kim. I don't see anything, but that doesn't mean anything. Mr. Kim, what are you doing just now? I was just thinking. I was remembering an old study I saw about Magaton scanners. I guess my mind started to wander a bit. I'm very disturbed by what just happened here. We don't have any idea what occurs when someone is occupied by an alien presence. If we stop pointing a finger every time someone gets distracted, it won't be long before outright paranoia starts sweeping the ship, Janeway says. Tuvok, B'Elanna, I want you to get started on that Magaton scan. It's worth a try. Dismissed. Okay. So then we're in sickbay. And that's not all. Ensign Parsons ordered his Petula cold, so he always drinks it hot with lemon, but not today. Today it's cold Petula. Hold the lemon. Mr. Neelix, just because a man changes his drink order doesn't mean he's possessed by an alien. Nevertheless, do you think you should scan him or dissect him or something just to make sure? I could examine every crew member you've mentioned so far, every person on board for that matter, and it wouldn't do any good. From what we can tell, the alien can jump from person to person at will. It sounds to me as if you're defending Ensign Parsons. I'm not defending him. I'm just pointing out that you're acting a little paranoid. In fact, one could say you're a little too paranoid. Are you suggesting that I could possibly, Doctor? I can assure you not even an alien intruder would make me do anything to hurt Kess. All I'm suggesting, Mr. Neal, is that paranoia is only going to aggravate your already precarious emotional condition. Try to relax. I don't think Kess has suffered any permanent neurological damage. I'll let you know the moment I've had any success in reviving her. I'll be back soon as you wake her. Dearest, don't worry. You're in good hands. And he leaves. So then Tuvok comes in, and he's acting a little suspicious. Doctor says, what are you doing? I'm reconfiguring the sensor relays on the ship. This will only take a minute. Must you do it now? I'm in the middle of a treatment. I'm sorry, Doctor. Captain's orders. How is she? No irreparable damage. In fact, her injuries are quite different for Commander Chakotay. Her bioneural energy is completely intact, and I'm curious about these contusions on her neck and shoulder. They're not consistent with an energy discharge. They look more like wounds sustained during a physical struggle. Odd. There was no physical struggle that I can recall. I just don't understand it. The only thing these injuries come close to resembling is an extreme trauma to the trapezius nerves. A Vulcan thing, maybe? So then Tuvok reports to Janeway that him and Taurus will be ready to initiate the scan in 2 hours. You should be aware that it will be a highly intense burst and it will cause dizziness and disorientation in all crew members, including myself, for several seconds. Make a shipwide announcement before you can issue the scan. Aye, Captain, there's another matter of concern. It appears that Cass's injuries were not caused by an energy discharge. The doctor has found evidence that she was physically assaulted. Assaulted, but you weren't physically assaulted. That's correct. Is it possible that you inflicted her wounds? Me? Maybe. You were inhibited by the alien at that moment. It's possible. Perhaps we should have the doctor run a neurological scan on to see if I show memory disruption. And she tries to contact the doctor, and the doctor's been disabled. And she tries to initiate his program, and it's been it won't reactivate. It's been encrypted. And the Janeway says, "Why would someone do that to the doctor?" And he says, "Well, you did give the doctor the codes. Maybe they wanted to discourage solving this problem, so they took away the doctor from you. If we assume the alien could not take over the holographic doctor, then logically it would assume it tried to force command codes back into a humanoid host. Me. It's too dangerous for any one person to retain the command codes apart. I suggest we divide my command protocols into 2 groupings. A sensible precaution. You would be the reasonable choice to be the second grouping. If there's any such thing as a reasonable choice now, the alien couldn't occupy either one of us at any time. Presumably not both of us at the same time. I'll tell the bridge the crew. We have to have checks and balances." So they're on the bridge, and apparently it's blurry because supposedly it's the alien observing what they're doing, and that's why it's blurry. But Janeway says, "I want you to all be aware of something that's happened, something I must assume was due to the alien. The doctor has been deactivated and we can't get him back online. I've decided to divide up my command protocols. Captain?" Janeway hits him, knocking him. She hits him. So then they just, I can't think of it now. But they get Janeway under control. They get her to sick bay. Paris revives her. She's back to being herself. Whoever did this put one hell of a roadblock. I'm going to have to break through at least 6 levels of encryption to get to the Axis hollow emitters. How long is it going to take? 3 hours. Taurus to Janeway, go ahead. Can you come down to engineering? There's something here I want you to see. On my way. Mr. Paris, you're a temporary medic until the doctor returns. So then she's in engineering. I'm trying to reconstruct the damaged sensor logs from Tuvok and Chakotay's shuttlecraft. I didn't have any luck until I ran a parity trace scan. Captain, the sensor logs weren't destroyed by an energy charge. Someone erased them and then overloaded the sensor matrix to look like they'd been damaged. It gets worse. There was enough information left in the backlogs for me to reconstruct what happened during the attack. They were near a dark matter, and an energy discharge did breach the hull, but there was no other ship. No other ship. I'm certain of it. From what I can tell, the energy discharge came from the nebula itself. Why would Tuvok lie about the attack? He must have been under the alien influence. Bridge to Janeway. We're approaching the dark matter nebula. Acknowledge. How long until the Magaton flash scan is ready? The sensor rays are charging now. 15-20 minutes. When it's ready, transfer control of the scan to the bridge. In the meantime, I think we should take a look at exactly what it is we're not supposed to see. So Paris comes up. Captain, I finished the bioanalysis the doctor was running on Cass before he was deactivated. I think he was onto something. If I'm interpreting his data correctly, the bruises on Cass's neck were the result of a Vulcan pinch, one of those thingies. Perhaps so, but then why doesn't it keep attacking you? In 3 separate instances now, it assaulted you. I am the chief of security. It may see me as a particular threat. So far, you've posed no greater threat than anyone else, and yet it keeps going after you. Captain, I believe you're having a typical human response to circumstances which are frightening and inexplicable. And they talk it down, and they discover that it's actually Tuvok, and he threatens to kill Harry, and things get away from it, and they finally get him secured and subdued. So, well, Tuvok is holding a gun on though. The alien thing goes down to engineering. So they're starting to talk about the warp core and how B'Elanna was down there in engineering to do the warp core ejection. And Janeway says, wait a minute, Lieutenant Torres isn't authorized to eject the warp core on her own. That requires a command code authorization. Computer, who authorized the ejection of the warp core? The authorization was ended by Commander Chakotay. How is that possible, Kim says. The alien in Tuvok wants us in the nebula, but there's another presence that's trying to keep us out. It doesn't make sense unless it's Chakotay, and he knows we'll be in danger if we go in there. But he's in sickbay. He's brain dead, Kim says. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe his neural energy was displaced somehow, and he's able to move from person to person. Tuvok's engaged energy thrusters were moving again, Captain. You brought us here for what? To extract our neural energy? Very perceptive, Captain. The collective neural energy of your crew will sustain my people for years to come. But you don't have to do this. Maybe we can help you find another source of energy. Captain, we're on attack. We're being bombarded by the energy beatings. And they all end up flat on their backs. So they finally disable Tuvok. So then they're scrambling around. Janeway, Paris, Kim. Shields are holding Paris says, but they won't last long, and the electromagnetic radiation is blinding our senses. I can't find a way out. Come about. Maybe if you reverse course, we can just backtrack. Yes, ma'am, Paris says. I don't know if that'll work. Captain Tuvok was navigating a complicated course. We should be going deeper into the nebula. Mr. Kim, maybe you can reconstruct Tuvok's navigational logs. I'm on it. Durst says shields down to 65%, Captain. The energy beams are starting to penetrate our defenses. So then Neelix is in sickbay and he fixes the stones. So then Janeway says, Neelix informs them of what he did. And she has him put it on screen. And computer overlay a star map of the nebula on the current view screen. The stones are in the same position as those 3 planetoids. Chakotay must be using them to point a way out. Mr. Kim, lay a course that takes us along a line connecting those 3 planetoids. Engage. So they get through the space thing okay, and they get out of the nebula, and no one's pursuing them. So then we get a voiceover from the captain. Captain's log stardate 48735.9. We've returned to the coordinates. We were ejected the warp core and have successfully retrieved it. Now we're hoping the doctor will be able to successfully reintegrate Commander Chakotay's consciousness. And they're all standing over Chakotay as the doctor works on him. And he wakes up. Did it work? It appears so. Can you hear me? Yes, I'm a little dizzy, but I think I'm all here. How did you manage to regenerate his consciousness? It involved 3 neural transceivers, 2 cortical stimulators, and 50 gigawatts of computer memory. I'd be happy to take you through the process, but it would take at least 10 hours to explain it to you. Needless to say, it was a remarkable procedure. I consider writing a paper about it if there was a convenient forum to publish it. What happened, Commander? After the attack on the shuttle, I had the sensation of floating above my body. I thought I was dead. When the shuttle returned to Voyager, you were still disembodied. Yes, I couldn't speak. I couldn't touch anything. But then I found if I concentrated on someone who was in the room with me, I could share their consciousness as if I could only do little things with the host body like push buttons, work a console. As time went by, it became easier to do more and more. I'm sorry I had to knock you around, Tuvok. It's not necessary. Good job, Commander. Welcome back. To be honest, I felt like I never left. And that's the end of Cathaxis, episode 113. And now I gotta go fix all the mistakes I made. Stay tuned for 114 next week, 115, and 116, the learning curve. Don't forget to watch If Then today. If you like this author, maybe you like that author. And discover what I've done with Flashback Monday, because I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with Flashback Monday yet, but go check out all those Flashback Monday episodes from the past. They were good. And don't forget to please hit the like and subscribe, and have a good day.